Alright guys, so today we're doing a little multiplayer race with a buddy of mine. We like to try to get together once a week and do a couple of quick 10-minute races here and there, and we switch off picking tracks and cars. So this week is my pick, and I've picked the Alfa Romeo 4C on VAR Patriot course, which is really a fun course for small cars like this. So yeah, I think this will be a lot of fun. Hopefully it'll be a good race, and we can keep it on the track and have a good time. So I'm going to go ahead and restart the race, make sure he's ready. And I think I've got my car set up. Okay, I've turned off fuel and tire wear just to make things a little bit easier for us. I don't see any point in making it super realistic just for a friendly match like this. So this really is a great course. I really love it a lot. Really all the tracks in VAR are great. They share a lot of the same corners, of course, but for small cars, this track is really good. Really fun in the Mazda MX-5, the Alfa. Some of the BMWs are fun here. The little A-Barth, of course, is a lot of fun here. The crossbow, if you can drive it, which I can't really, but well, I haven't tried it in a while, so maybe I wouldn't be too bad at it. Well, here we go. He's going to let me have the first corner. He likes to do that to avoid a wreck, and I appreciate that. So generally the two of us are normally pretty evenly balanced on the track. His Steam name, well, you can see it in the bottom left there. Look, it's Duck, and he is generally more consistent than I am. So, like something like that right there, he's going to make fewer of those mistakes. Whereas normally I might have a few corners where I'm a little bit faster than he is. So I'll be able to pull a gap or catch up, but then I'll do something dumb and drop a wheel off the track or something. It's always a lot of fun. We generally pick pretty good car track combos, and I think this one's working pretty well. It really is a tough track. It's very twisty, and you get a braking point wrong, get cut out, you're really in a lot of trouble. And my tires are not up to temperature, which I noticed in practice. And I actually, wow, this is a really bad shift. I was not paying attention. And he, I give him props for not going off track, and then he does exactly what I did last lap, just way worse. But I actually set the track temp really high in order to try to get some heat in the tires. Clearly that did not work as well as I had hoped. So now, I like to have a fun race, so as long as I don't spin out, I will win. But that's not really fun. So I'm going to slow it down a little bit. And generally I don't know, it depends on how competitive we feel. A lot of times we won't slow down for the other person and we'll just keep going. And, if we had 2 laps left or something like that, I'd probably just go. But with 7 laps left, I want to make it a challenge. I want to make it interesting. So I'll just run nice, slow, clean laps, give him a chance to catch up. And he has done the same for me, so it's not unheard of. do have another friend that we race with sometimes, and he's a bit more of a novice racer, although he has grown in skill quite a bit since we started racing together. But when there's more of us, it's much more cutthroat, and then we generally have a 45-second rule. If you get ahead by at least 45 seconds, then you just automatically win. Especially since we're only doing 10-minute races. I mean, in 10 minutes, unless the other guy really messes up, you're not going to come back from that. And so, and the one thing I wish Assetto Corsa had, that Project Cars 2 does have, is multiplayer racing with the AI. Not that I've heard that the AI is very good in Project Cars 2. But I know in Project Cars 1 I did that a little bit with some karting and the open-wheeled cars that they have in that that they had in that title, and I really enjoyed it with the AI, because you know, when you're running away from somebody like I am, it's fun to have somebody there to kind of still race against, you know, still have a challenge. But I'm just trying to focus on good, clean races. Or a good, clean lap, I mean. Because again, he's not going to be able to... He's not going to be able to catch me unless I do something really dumb. So, I'd like for him to get within sight at least. But the other issue is I don't really know if he is... you know, he could be continuing to make mistakes. And obviously I've been driving pretty cleanly after that first incident I had, so this course gives you the same problems that normal parts of VIR give you, and that's that with the elevation changes. It's hard to pick out the line through the next corner because you can't see the next corner. So it can be very difficult to pick out the line. Which is not something that I really think I'm that great at to begin with. And so I tend to cut most of the corners short, like that one. I started turning in way too early, and then I had to come off the power in order to keep the car on the track. But I did just have my fastest lap ever, so. See, and I'm just racing nice and smooth. I'm not really pushing the car. Which just goes to prove my point that racing hard, pushing real hard, you just overdrive the car, you make more mistakes. And you go slower. You just have to stay balanced in your approach. That's a disaster. So now I'm going to wish that I was not racing easy, because he's going to shoot by me here. But that's okay. It'll give us a couple of fun laps potentially. And he must have had either way more trouble getting going than I did there, or more issues than I had. He is still quite a ways behind. So we'll let him get within a couple of seconds. Yeah, I mean, I think I lost, what was that, 12 seconds on that one mistake. So, easy to lose a lot of time here if you go off at the wrong spot, as you can see. This is the last lap, and I'm just going to try to stay nice and clean. Drive a good line. And not miss that corner where we have both gone off. That's going to be the key. Do not miss the corner. I can get a little squirrely there on me. Brake really early for this one, and that should be enough. Alright, good race. Had a lot of fun. I'm just trying to conquer this track. You gotta drive behind some tires too, because we both like to try to ram the other guy after the finish. Right or wrong. So we're going to go ahead, I'm going to go ahead and load the server for the next round. So I'll meet you guys back here in a minute. Okay guys, we are back for race number 2 of the weekly multiplayer race. We're going to be at Brand's Hatch-Indy in the Supra Time Attack. Interesting car, for sure. Might run a couple of practice laps, 1 or 2. So I will cut to the beginning of the race because I don't see any point in showing all of that. So I'll see you when the race starts. So this is a fun little car. A little rough over the curbs, so I'm going to try to stay off of them. It's also right-hand drive, which I really, really hate because I'm just not used to it. And so it's hard for me to drive the right line. It's hard for me to hit the apexes correctly. Because my brain is just like, hey, we're on the left side of the car, but really we're not. So for me it's kind of tough, but hopefully this will be pretty competitive. It'll be a lot of fun either way, I think. And I like Brands Hatch-Indy. Brands Hatch, not my favorite course, but when you cut out the back half, a lot better. Oh, wow, that start was really bad. He's trying to cut the inside, but I'm gonna guard that line. And I just need to run a bit of a better line. Car's understeering like crazy. Which I know it kind of has a tendency to do that around here, but I didn't think it was going to be as bad as it is. And I say that and I get tons of, not tons, but I get some oversteer through that corner, so I guess I'm just being a little timid with using the power to kind of bring the rear end around, but maybe that's what's what I need to do to power this thing through the corners. Yeah, through there, you know, if I punch it too hard like I did, man, that back end wants to come around all day. little bit of counter steer though, keeps it straight. A lot of fun to drive this guy. A lot of fun. So we're doing another 10 laps. Again, we're trying. We always shoot for 10-minute races, but generally we don't go more than 10 laps. So it's kind of 10-minute races or 10 laps, whichever comes first. And that's not really a rule that we have set in stone. That's just kind of how it has normally worked out for us. And generally what I'll do is I'll run a few practice laps before the event and see kind of what my baseline time is, and I'll put that many laps in. So if it takes me 2 minutes to get around, we'll run 5 laps, etc., etc. And we have had a ton of great races. It's really been a lot of fun. When we started, I lost just about every time. That was a bad downshift there. Yeah, I don't know if goosing it there helped any. Yeah, but I used to lose all the time. Unless I put in like 30 laps of practice per race. Because, look, it's Duck, he just murdered me. He has so much more experience than I do in cars. But recently, I think some things have started clicking for me. And I probably am just doing more racing than he is. And so, racing is fresh in my mind. And, ooh, that was terrible. Racing is just fresher in my mind, and so it's a little bit easier for me to come out here and not have to put in a bunch of laps. I think I did 5 for before each race, maybe 6. Really just enough so that I kind of learn my brake points for the most part, but not enough to learn the perfect ideal line. You know, there's still tons of time to be gained on this track with this car. So. But I don't have to put in nearly as much time to be competitive. Whoa. And there are certain tracks that he just murders me on. Suzuka? Ugh. I don't even stand a chance. Spa is another one that's hard, although we had a fantastic race in the I think it's the 458 GT2. We had an awesome race in that one on Spa. But there's just certain tracks that he really likes, that he has raced over and over in his career, and you know, as a sim racer, and can just murder me at every time. And we actually are running very competitive laps with each other right now, so that's good. So you see that our times are almost identical. So most of these races come down to, like I said before, there might be one corner or a set of corners where I just get a better run than he does, and that gives me a quarter of a second a lap or half a second a lap or something. Oh, why am I in that gear? Or one of us, normally me, will make a mistake, a big mistake, and spin out or something similar, and then the other guy can just, you know, breeze to the win. But there are some times when we are neck and neck from the get-go, real intense door-to-door racing, a little bumping here and there, nothing intentional, but just hard, close, fast racing. And We try to race each other gentlemanly. I mean, it's a friendly competition, you know. And that was a good corner. I like that one. I need to start swinging out wider on that one. Give myself more track to work with. But it's kind of a relief to just have a couple of guys that you can just race around with, some casual racing. You know, this isn't sim racing system where you got aliens going 5 seconds a lap faster. This isn't the Assetto Corsa Racing League where I'm practicing super hard for really competitive races. This is just casual, once a week. Have some fun, bust out some unique car combos, track combos that you may not see that often, and just race how we want to race, you know. Take it mano a mano. And now I did try to get him into the ACR. Everybody I race with on a regular basis, I try to get into the ACRL, but either they didn't want to run hour-long races, or they didn't feel like they had time to practice enough. Something like that kept them out of it. So a little disappointing. I thought it'd be fun because you can have a teammate in ACRL. I thought it'd be fun to have a teammate to run through the races, get some discuss strategy with, that sort of thing. Kind of bring a new element to it, but it is what it is. And I am enjoying ACRL immensely. And judging by the real-time display, Scott might have tried to push too hard and went off. I was jibber-jabbering and did not see it. So looks like a comfortable victory for me at this point. And I've really had a lot of fun during this weekly race, and I hope he has as well. Hopefully you guys had some fun watching. Take some enjoyment out of our little weekly races. We might do this again sometime, so stay tuned for that. Until then, we'll see you next time.